And we're live. I've just taken a ferry. And we're live, welcome. We're just getting to our starting point. I've just taken a ferry, the very first ferry of the day to the old Kai Tak airport. And we're going to begin our tour shortly. I'm just going to get to that building over there and then we will start. Great to have you all here, and excited to show you this incredible airport with a kind of scary history. Oh, hi Charity, good to see you. Hey Kelly, good to see you. Welcome. I've been getting multiple alerts that there've been storms happening, but as usual with Hong Kong, you know, it's storming and then it's clear. So I'm very lucky today because we've got some blue sky, but maybe in an hour's time everything's different. So by that time our tour will be finished. Hey Lucas, good to see you. We're just making our way to the Kai Tak old airport. And we're going to start as soon as we get in that building and get to the top of the lift, so in about a minute or so. Great to see you all. I will be putting a shortened version of this tour up on YouTube and on Facebook later, so if you didn't get a chance to see it, or if you want to share a shortened version or the original version, that's all going to be on YouTube and Facebook. Hey Laurie, wow, good to see you all. Oh man, I'm so excited to bring you here, and I'm gonna be experimenting with sharing photos today. I tested it out, and you can see how that works. I've loaded them up. So there are actually two ways to get here. The one is the way I got here. I took the first ferry from area of Kowloon, and now I'm here. Or you can take a bus from Kowloon Bay. And these buildings over here, this actually, where these buildings are right now, those were built for quarantine, but originally that was the runway. This whole area over here is the runway of the old Kai Tak airport. So let's take the lift. As soon as we get up to the top of the lift, I'll begin properly. So we're gonna go take the lift here and then go up, and then we'll begin. We're gonna have beautiful views over the harbour, over Kowloon, and see what they've created this old airport to become. Now I can't see with YouTube, I can't see who joins. Only if you comment can I see you. So it's good to have all of you on, and we're going to begin in about a minute now. We may lose a little bit of signal as we go up. Yeah, it's a very hot day today, so I've drunk plenty of water, very important. And I'm on a little time limit because the boat leaves in exactly just under an hour. Okay, let's begin. Welcome everyone to Kai Tak, what was Kai Tak International Airport, Hong Kong's international airport. The 6th most dangerous airport in the world, and I'm really excited to show you that today. Laurie says, hi Matt, long time no see. I've missed everything lately. You haven't missed anything, don't worry. Everything is on YouTube for you to watch whenever you are able. Okay, so I'm going to switch around the camera now to say hi. Hey, my name is Matt, and we're here at Kai Tak. I'm really excited to tell you the history of this amazing airport, and we're going to get some amazing views and see what it's become today. and I'm really excited to share that with you. Okay, so let's start with the name Kai Tak. It got its name from two businessmen who actually bought this land, Sir Ho Kai and Mr. Tak. And the idea was to build a residential housing on the land where this airport sits. Unfortunately, they failed, and the land was subsequently used for an aviation school that opened in 1924, and it was called the Abbott School of Aviation. Now, as Hong Kong grew and developed, they needed to have a international airport. So in 1957, the Abbott School of Aviation became the location for Hong Kong International Airport, or as it was known then, Kai Tak International Airport. And as time went by, the city around the airport developed. You can see today with skyscrapers all along in every direction that you look. And so the airport that was once quite isolated became completely was suddenly, there were buildings everywhere, and the city skyline that was once clear for planes was now surrounded by high-rise buildings. But this also gave it a very dramatic location, and I'm going to show you a picture of what that looked like. So because of the high-rise buildings, you're going to have a look now and see. So I'm going to share a picture of what that looked like. There we go. So being so close to the residential areas, this is the sort of thing you would see in your neighborhood, because the airport was so close to the city. Can you see that photo? So it was a very dramatic it was a very dramatic location, but if you were a pilot, man, it was really, really difficult to navigate. And so that's really what made it the 6th most dangerous airport in the world. Now today, Kai Tak is no longer an international airport. The international airport has been moved onto the island of Lantau. It's now far away from any obstructions. It really is. Lantau is the least most populated island in Hong Kong, and the biggest and the least populated, and so according to its size, and so it's the ideal place to have an airport. And in fact, they've created the airport on islands off Lantau. They've taken 2 islands, flattened them, and they learned all the lessons from having this dangerous airport. Now I just want to point out to you what Kai Tak has become today, and you can see it right in front of us. Kai Tak today is no longer an airport, but they still see large volumes of travelers, and that's because Kai Tak today is a cruise ship terminal. And so we're really lucky right now, because right in front of us is a cruise ship coming in, and the people here will get off shortly and go through customs and passport control. But so still letting in, still a way for people to come into Hong Kong, still being used in a similar way. Really, really cool. And aren't we lucky today to see this cruise ship coming in? Amazing. Okay, let's continue. Now we're going to go inside the building and we're going to go up to the next level. But I just want to give you a chance to take a postcard or two. Now the building itself has been converted, and there's beautiful gardens. Who would have thought of beautiful gardens now on top of the old airport and its cruise terminal. So it's very creative. In fact, you can see here, it's a very unique location, which it's used for weddings and for events. I'm the type of person that likes unusual things, so I think it would be really cool to have your wedding here in Kai Tak. Imagine saying I had my wedding at an old airport. It sounds really cool. So why was it the 6th most dangerous airport in the world? What made it so? Well, there were 15 incidents, and in those 15 incidents, over 218 people lost their lives. Probably the deadliest incident was on the 24th of August 1965, when the US Marine Corps flight 58/71 the US Marine Corps flight lost 58 passengers out of 71. So I just want to give you a peek in. This is where people come through when they come into Hong Kong or leave. Almost like we're at an airport. So we're going to take the elevator up now. Here's our elevator, our escalator, elevator, and we're just going to take it up. Just bear with me if the signal drops, but it is completely metal. You're just going to go up to the top, where you're going to have a beautifully landscaped garden. So what made this airport the most dangerous? Oh, can you hear that lightning and thunder? So the reason all had to do with the approach, particularly for the approach for runway 13, and this was known to pilots as the checkerboard approach. And the reason why it was called that was because the pilots, when they were flying into Kai Tak, had to look to a hill that looked like a checkerboard. And I've got that checkerboard. It was called Checkerboard Hill. Here's the picture. So there you can see there's a sports field below, and then there was the Checkerboard Hill. That was their sign that they needed to do something very dramatic. So when they saw the Checkerboard Hill, the pilot would be flying over the city. He would look for that hill, and after that he would need to make, and this sounds crazy even today, he would need to make a 47-degree right turn to line up with runway 13. And within a distance of 4.7 kilometers, or about 2.9 miles, at a height of about 200 meters or 218 yards, clear to land. So imagine that, you're already very low down, and you've got a very short distance, just under 5 kilometers or just under 3 miles, and you have to land. And so that's what made it so dangerous. It was very, very technical for the pilots involved, and a big reason why it was so dangerous was that it was difficult in itself. But when you had like bad weather, like a typhoon, hurricane, and visibility was near zero, that's really when things went wrong, when you had accidents. And I'll be sharing with you some of those accidents that happened. Now, during the final approach, after that right-hand turn, the plane flew sometimes just 10 meters over the apartment buildings where people lived, and people on the plane used to say that they could see into people's apartments and vice versa. So the planes got incredibly close, and imagine if you were living in that apartment, every time a plane flew that close, the building would shake. So just really intense, but it also created some beautiful photos. So I'll share with you some more photos of the airplane coming over. So very dramatic. This is the plane coming over Prince Edward, which is a district in Hong Kong, and you can see just really dramatic, coming very close to the highway over there. Yes, there were a number of accidents. In total, about 218 people lost their lives. And this is what the airport looked like from above. There you can see runway 13, very thin, very narrow, and I'm going to tell you about what happened with one of the accidents. So the airport closed in '98, and the last flight was to Heathrow. But one of the more interesting accidents that I found was it happened during a really bad typhoon or hurricane. This was on the 4th of November '93 with China Airlines, and I'm trying to. So it was a really, really bad day, and there was gale force winds, it was a typhoon, and the pilot was desperately trying, flight number 605 was desperately trying to land with like virtually zero visibility, and he slightly just overran the runway during the typhoon, and the wind was gale force at the time, and despite that unstable approach, the captain did not go around again. He wanted to land, was desperate to land, and so he did touch down on the landing strip, but it was only about 2/3 of the way down of the runway, and he was just unable to stop the plane before the runway ended. And there you can see that the aircraft ended up submerged beyond the runway. Now, fortunately, in that case, there were only 23 minor injuries, but amongst 296 passengers and crew, and there were no deaths. So that was really lucky. Now I'm gonna quickly remove these pictures. Oh, there we are. I was worried now for a second that I wouldn't be able to remove the picture, but I got it. Okay. And so yeah, that was one of the more dramatic ones, and so it was just really difficult and exacerbated by bad weather. Now today, you saw earlier that there's a cruise ship here, so they've converted the airport into a cruise ship. On the rooftop of the airport now is a beautiful rooftop garden, and not many people really know about this. It is kind of a difficult location to get to. Like I've taken a boat, which I'll have to a ferry, which I'll have to go back. The ferry only comes every hour, so at a certain time I'm going to make my way back to where the ferry was, or you could take a bus, but they're not, both forms of transport aren't very regular, so it's a little bit forgotten about by the rest of Hong Kong, and so it's really cool to come here. I always used to see it, and I always used to wonder, like, what is that building? It looks so strange, and then I eventually came here and was amazed to learn the history and what an amazing space it is. I just want to give you a dramatic look over at Hong Kong Island and Kowloon. We've got Kowloon on the right hand side, Hong Kong Island on the left, and you can just get a sense over here of just how long Hong Kong Island is. So we're gonna make our way now to the front, and we can get some really great views. And we're gonna look above at what was the airport runway. It has since been, it used to be a park, and in fact we may be able to see one of the aeroplanes in the park, but during COVID they converted the runway, the park, into isolation housing, and so that's what it is right now. I'm not quite sure what the Hong Kong government has got planned, but I'm pretty sure they're going to do something with it. But pre-COVID, we used to go and explore the park. There we go. Beautiful shot. Let's go. We're going to go down one level. And did you get a postcard of that one? We're going to look over at it's called the Airport Park, and then a beautiful view from the end there, and then we will finish our tour. I just want to let you know, I've got a Facebook group. If you're not part of the Facebook group, you want to follow more of what's happening, see the latest videos that I'm posting, check that out. Once a month I post all the links for my tours. So if you want to get an email with the links to all those tours, I do put it on the Hego, the guide calendar. But if you want to get an email to your email directly, you can just subscribe or follow me on Buy Me a Coffee. That's going to give you just one email every month with all my tours in one go, because I plan everything out monthly and then I just post it. We're going to get some stunning postcards here at the end. very dramatic location. Okay, I'm gonna widen the camera. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. Yeah, so from the most dangerous airport in the world to a cruise terminal, it's come full circle. And if you want to come here, easy to come here either by ferry or by bus. And amazing part of history. Now, Hong Kong, they learned their lesson after Kai Tak. And so when they built the new airport, all the lessons they learned about placement of an airport, like where people live, they didn't do that again. They were really smart. In fact, the current airport won major awards because of the way it was designed, and it was one of the biggest construction projects, I think, of the 20th century. Or they won an award as one of the most impressive construction projects of the 20th century because it was so technical. They had 2 islands that they had to flatten, and then they reclaimed the sea between those 2 islands. Very, very technical. And we can't really see it too well here, but I'm gonna stand up on the ledge here so you can have a better look. There you can see the old park. So still COVID isolation, although it's not being used because no one's being isolated because of COVID anymore. And then part of the park, which was the runway, is the airplane that you can see right there. We'll zoom in. There, you can see it there. So that was a mail plane. Used to bring letters and packages to everyone from overseas. So you could this used to be a giant park. You come with your dogs, walk around. Not anymore. But yeah, amazing space here, and so lucky that we can visit it once more. So I'm going to turn around quickly and say thank you so much for joining me today here at Kai Tak Airport, the former Kai Tak Airport. And if you're not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And we were just really, really lucky with the weather today. We had great weather. It's supposed to be lightning and thunder and all of that, but we've just had it clear for the time we're here, so we're really lucky. Yeah, thank you for joining. If you want to buy me a coffee or subscribe to the newsletter, you can go to buy me a coffee. The link is in the chat, I believe. And great. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you now with a shot of the airport. So from me here at the old Kai Tak Airport, I hope you've had an amazing time. Pleasure, Laurie, and I'll see you soon.